Hello, guys. This is BJ. We're going to talk about how to study the Bible. Okay. Oh, so I'm on Zoom. Got a share screen. Let's see. I hit that button. Share. Okay. My face is little in the corner. That's okay. Got more internet that way. Boop, there we go. You can see my desktop. I got the Genesis right here. Got the Super Nintendo emulator, the Nintendo, the Game Boy Advance, the PlayStation doesn't work that well. This one, what is that? It's Lunar. Oh, it's the Sega CD. So I could play some Lunar. I need, okay. So, well, with the unimportant stuff out of the way, here we go. My Facebook, YouTube, emulator games on IMDb, CCEL, Christian classic something literature, where you go to read all sorts of good Christian books. Got all trails because like hiking, game facts. Man, look at, I am just, oh, Bible Gateway. There, yeah, see. I knew that I liked the Bible. Okay. Looking up a Bible verse. You don't understand what it means. They're like, I don't know how to study the Bible. I don't know what I'm doing. What do? Open your Bible and just start reading? It can be confusing. Okay. I got lots of paper Bibles. You see all the books over there and stuff. Yeah, my little clock up in the corner there. Oh, yeah, there it is. Other stuff in the fireplace. But you see all the books and such. Pictures. DeVore's uncle took those. Okay. Gonna go over here. Bible Gateway. Yeah, that's one place. We'll go there. Okay. Read the Bible. Oh, yeah, we should go there. 1 second. Upgrade to Bible Gateway Plus. I don't got no money. I don't think I need to give them my money because I don't really need the plus. There we go. Study tools. Oh, let's go there. Wait. We're trying to be very simple. Explore more Bible Gateway store. Create a free account, become, and just do, look. Forget all that stuff. Forget all that. We're just, nope. Got your Bible verse of the day up here. Enter passage, keyword, or topic. Let's do this. What's a simple Bible verse that everybody, I'm looking at my picture over here, but there's a camera. I tend to look at my own picture. I usually don't look at the camera. It's kind of weird to me. I like to see my face. It's so pretty. Not really. Kind of, my mustache looks like a brown snot just drooling down. Here we go. My mustache took like 4 months. Yeah, this is like 4 months of no shaving. Did I mention I have attention deficit, hyperactive? So I enter passage, keywords, or topic. John 3:16. Okay, I guess so. Genesis 1:1. I guess so. I don't know. Gonna pick just something random. Let's try it. Let's try something weird. Numbers 20. 4 through 12. Look at that. Numbers 20, verse 4 through 12. You click this little carrot, this little thing here, it's English, Espanol, no, all, what do you, oh, hey, there's the Bible. Okay, I know English. New American Standard 1995. This one was done in 2020, I think, 1995. Look at all this, a new Man of God Bible, New Century, Catholic Bible, The Voice, World English. Man, American, just what in the world? It's like, wait, how do you choose? Oh, the KJV, good old KJV. How do you choose? If you recognize it, it's probably good. I'm not saying that's good about everything. You might recognize a serial killer. Hey, Come on into my house. Okay. You might recognize, oh, the message. That's good. It's a paraphrase. The Living Bible sounds familiar. It's a paraphrase, though. For general study purposes, you want a more word for word. You want a more straightforward, not like John 3:16, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. Okay, let's paraphrase that. God loved all of humanity so much, and I'm going to tell you how much he loved them. Jesus. He sent down Jesus. He gave us Jesus. Jesus, the only son, his only son. And really, son doesn't apply to God. Son is metaphorical. Okay, we can go down that route. But just for general Bible study, word for word. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. Yeah. So Numbers 24-12, some good word for word. Okay. Everybody knows the NIV. That's more phrased. That's called thought for thought, or here's a big word, dynamic equivalency. NIV, more thought for thought. We don't really want the thoughts. We want exactly what they say. This is for like study purposes. This isn't to read to kind of let me understand what the passage means. Well, I guess that is study. This isn't like you're sitting back and you're okay. I wonder what it means. This isn't, oh, my devotion time. No, study. Now, truthfully, my devotion time is study. Unless I get big time into the books of the Old Testament because there's stories and such. The Gospels are kind of neat. I've read them a lot, and I tend to sit there and go and try to think, what did Jesus mean by what did you? And then I start like getting into it. So if I want devotion, a lot of times I read the Old Testament, which is kind of weird to people. This king went to this battle and killed those people, and God was like, strike them all down. And then God loved this king and hated this. It's like, what in the world is going on? Take my phones out of my pocket, kind of annoying. There we go. So NIV, NIRV. Most people recognize those. New King James Version, not too bad. NLT. What's some others that we recognize? The New Revised Standard Version. It's not as popular, but recognize. People think it's pretty good. RCVC. That's got to be the longest. Oh, the Catholic. I'm not Catholic. I think the Catholics have a lot wrong, but I'm sure I have a lot wrong. But since I'm not Catholic, I'll just avoid that because it wouldn't, avoid. I really don't think anything bad will come from reading that, actually. The ESV is a well recognized one. There's the NET, New Names, New American, New English Translation. That one's not very popular. It's not on the internet. New English. People like it. Okay, I've talked enough. New American Standard Bible. The most, generally, it's touted as the most word for word. Touted. Okay, here we go. That's a magnifying glass, I bet. Yeah, not a lollipop. When you click on this, you get a lollipop of good God's word. It's so sweet. Look at that. Yeah, okay, here we go. Why then have you brought the Lord's assembly into this wilderness for us and our livestock to die here? Wait. Somebody asked a question of someone. We have no idea what's going on. Why then have you brought, who is the you? Somebody brought the Lord's assembly, like the church? Well, Numbers is in the Old Testament. It's probably not the church. Like, man, we can't, if you knew nothing about the Bible, can't even get past this verse. I go up here, I search. I'm assuming we already know that. I search, I pick the translation, hit the lollipop, go down here. There it is. Ignore all these buttons for now. Just ignore everything. There's the text. Ignore that. There's the text. Why then have you, okay, who's asking the question? I don't know. Is it important? It might not be. Sometimes it's not. You, who's the you? I don't know. Okay. Why then have you brought the Lord's assembly into this wilderness? What wilderness? for us and our livestock to die here. For us. Who's the us? You have brought the Lord's assembly into the wilderness for us to die and our livestock to die. You brought the Lord's assembly into the wilderness and they're going to kill us? They're going to come after us? You brought the Lord's assembly and the Lord's assembly came into the wilderness and now us and our livestock are dying because the Lord's assembly was brought. Okay. Some of you are going, BJ, look. BJ, let me play it. Look. We know what the verse means. It's common sense. I understand that. I teach children's church. I have to do this every Sunday with kids just like this. They start asking questions or they just go, this is boring. So I have to ask questions. I'll start reading and I'll go, wait, stop. Who is the you? And they go, I don't know. And I'm like, how can you read the verse? And they're like, I don't know. I think that's a good way to study. Okay. How could we find out why then have you brought the Lord's assembly? Could ask questions. Who am I to ask questions? I got nobody around. Okay. Let's imagine all I had was the Bible. What if all I had was a paper Bible? How could I do it? Okay. I'm going to watch this. Open menu. Whoa. Look at that. You got all this stuff. What is that? I'm not Passover. Okay. Sounds familiar. Murmuring of Miriam and Aaron. Aaron, that's somebody in the Bible. Moses. Okay. Levites, Gershonites. What the heck? Adultery. That's kind of weird. Okay. Let's just ignore that. Let's just ignore that. Matthew, Numbers. Okay. Let's click. What if we click that? Oh, nothing happens. Okay. Deuteronomy. Oh, it changes. Genesis, the creation of man and woman. I bet. Oh, chapter 11, Tower of Babel. I bet. Chapter 1, the creation. That would make sense. I bet if we go to, we totally forgotten about the Bible verse. But hey, we're just trying to learn. This is what I go through a lot of times. I'm trying to learn how to study the Bible. Somebody asks a question and I'm like, I don't know. What do? I go click on a random website, Bible Gateway, BibleHub.com, BlueLetterBible.org. I just go click on one of those. I start looking at stuff. I'm like, do I click this? Do I click this? What do I click over here? I'm not sure. I just click on stuff and finally, eventually, sooner or later, I get an answer. It's not like I'm gonna, do I click on this? And then I'm, some cult group website's going to come up and I'm going to fall into that. And, oh, do I click this? Oh, crud. I just spent $1,000 on toilet paper and Amazon. I'm on a Bible website. What do I click? I would ignore, since I already know this website, like I said, just ignore all the extra stuff. Ignore all this. Right now, Numbers 2:24-12. We know Genesis chapter 1. What if we went to Matthew in the New Testament? It'll be stuff about Jesus, I'm guessing. The genealogy of Jesus, the visit of the Magi. Those are the chapter. Those okay. See, so even right now, I'm learning something. I kind of knew that actually. You go to Numbers. I knew all that stuff was in Numbers. I'm playing it. Like I said, I teach kids, and I have to kind of play the role of the dumb guy to actually get them interested to ask questions. Okay, I'm not saying y'all aren't interested. Here we go. We're Numbers chapter 20, verses 4-12. Why they use a colon, I don't know. That's just what somebody did, and that's just what we use today. Chapter 20, verses 4-10. Let's go to chapter 20. The death of Miriam, the waters of Meribah. The death of I bet it's Aaron. Look at this. Where is it at? Murmuring of Miriam and Aaron. Up here was something about Aaron. I don't think it'd be adultery. The death of adultery, maybe. Okay. Actually, Waters of Meribah, whenever I was reading chapter 20, and I looked real quick, look at that, Waters of Meribah. Yeah. Okay. Then when? Oh, hey, the death of Miriam. Okay. The people, why then? Oh, there's our verse. Remember, we were verse 4 through 12. Why then have you brought the Lord? What does that have to do with the death of Miriam? Why have you brought us up? Maybe they're going to kill Miriam. I don't know. Let's see. Here's how you learn stuff from the Bible. I can't look at the Bible here. One second. Got my big old hefty one. Look at that. Yeah, the NRC. Okay, I'm talking to my wife. She says something. She says, so she comes in and she says, so I was at the store. The people were going to try to kill me. So whenever they brought in the assembly, I was like, I'm leaving. I'd be like, what in the world? Wait, stop. Could you please give me some context? You come in and just randomly say whenever they were going to come in and kill you. That's kind of, oh my goodness. And then in assembly, what do you mean? Somebody's trying to kill you? Was the assembly trying to? Who is they? What is it? And my wife will go, oh, I'm sorry. Let me explain. Okay. So Bible. The Bible's like, why then have you brought the Lord's assembly into the wilderness for us to lifestyle? And I go, wait, Bible. I got a question. Bible. Why, like, why are you saying this? Okay, the Bible's not going to talk back to me. Or is it? The words of God are in the Bible. How would you find out? Obviously, you could read other verses before. Here we go. You could read verses after. We already have the Waters of Meribah, something about the death of Miriam. Okay, I'm just going to start reading from verse 1, chapter 20. Generally in the Bible, the start of a chapter is good. Sometimes it's kind of messed up. Sometimes the chapter, you can see here, these chapters are all broken up. See, you would think, why isn't that a whole chapter? Why isn't that a whole chapter? But sometimes it's like one chapter goes straight into the next chapter and there is no break. It's kind of weird. But in this point, this is good, okay? Then the sons of Israel, who were they? We've stopped asking so many questions because we're trying to figure out verse 4 through whatever. The sons of Israel, we know there's a nation of Israel, okay. The sons, just the sons. Well, it's an ancient culture. There's no sons. There's there's sons and daughters, but they called everybody sons. I mean, it's just what it is. That's how they wrote in the ancient culture. Then the sons of Israel, the whole congregation. So it was the sons of Israel, the whole congregation, and blah, blah. Nope. The sons of Israel, the whole congregation, came to the wilderness of Zin in the first month. So whole congregation is the sons of Israel. Okay. The sons of Israel, all of them, probably what it means, came to the wilderness of Zin in the first month. The wilderness. Dude, look, wilderness. Into this wilderness, the sons of Israel came. Okay. Why then have you brought the Lord's assembly into this wilderness? The sons of Israel, the whole came to the wilderness. So are the sons of Israel and the whole congregation the Lord's assembly? Is us the sons of Israel and the Lord's assembly? Are the Lord's assembly and us the same? Or the sons of Israel came, us and our livestock are going to die because you've brought the Lord's assembly into the wilderness. Let's see, man, you could just flip it all around. Look, yes, BJ, come on. Like I said, this is teaching. If you think this is pointless, I don't know. And the son of Israel came to the wilderness in the first month, and the people stayed at Kadesh. What people? These people? Let's just assume for the sake It's these people, because I could just keep going on forever. This is also how I do children's church. I'm teaching, I'm asking questions, and eventually I start assuming things. Eventually I just start telling them stuff. I stop asking questions. I just start relying on my knowledge. Like a minute ago, I was like, why does it say sons? Because it is an ancient culture. There were sons, there were daughters, there were dads and moms, but they just used sons. That's just the way ancient culture was. Okay. Did I get that from this text? Does the text here tell me? No. I'm putting up my hand like you can see it. Does the text here? You can't see it. I'm like, hey, yeah. No, the text doesn't tell me that. So I'm relying on my knowledge to kind of tell you that. The sons of Israel, the whole congregation, came to the wilderness of Zin in the first month. The people, we're going to assume that's sons of Israel and the whole congregation, stayed at Kadesh. I thought they were in the wilderness of Zin. Maybe Kadesh is inside the wilderness of Zin. Maybe it's an area. Like they came to Texas and they stayed at Houston. I don't know, maybe. I'm trying to think of other options because I know that's the answer. So you got to think of other options. See, a good way to study is to say, I know what the text means. If you do, like I know what all this means. And I know what all this is saying. Since I do, and if I want to study it better, I try to think of other things it can mean that forces me to actually think about it. Then let's say somebody asked me, here's one plus. Somebody asked me a weird question. Why would the people stay at Kadesh and the other people were in the wilderness of Zin? And I'm like, that's not what it means. What do you mean? I don't understand. What are you saying? I think they're dumb. Or I'm like, and I do that because what they're saying doesn't compute. I know what it means. They're saying something completely different. I'm like dumbfounded. I'm like, I don't know how to respond to it. If I make myself think of it in different ways, when those people ask that question, I could go, oh, wait, that's really not what it means. I can walk them through this process. Am I going to take, how many minutes has it been? Am I going to take this long to actually tell them? No, of course not. I could do it quicker, obviously. Where is the, dude, there it is. Wait, you are screen sharing. Stop here. I'm not going to stop because I don't know. Okay, pause, chat participants more. Stop video, no. How long? Video settings. More. Pause recording. Pause recording. I'll see you in a minute. I can't tell to see how long I've been going. Next time, I'll set a timer. I'll figure it out later. Put me up there. Put my ugly mug up there. Make this. No, we can make it big. Where were we at? Squirrel. Where were we at? Numbers. See, there's this thing up here that comes down that I can see, but on the recording you can't see it. So it's blocking some of the stuff. So whenever I go too high, it comes down and it blocks, but whatever. Okay. Sons of Israel, the whole congregation came to the wilderness of Zin. Okay, wherever the sons of Israel are, there's a guy named Israel in the Bible. There's a nation of Israel. They all came, not just the son. That's just what they call it. The sons, all of them. The whole congregation came to the wilderness of Zin. The people stayed at Kadesh. Kadesh is somewhere in the wilderness of Zin. Now Miriam died there and was buried there. Death of Miriam. There was no water for the congregation. Wait, are they going to go back to the death of Miriam? Okay, watch this. Control F. Miriam. One of two matches. Death of Miriam. Now Miriam. Wait. This whole thing is called the death of Miriam in the NASB. And only the first verse tells me about the death of Miriam. Why didn't they have a second one there? Why didn't they have another? You see, death of Miriam. Why not here? There was no water. In the assembly, and they assembled against Moses and Aaron. The people argue with Moses. Why have you brought us up? Why did you make us come up from Egypt? Then the Lord spoke to Moses. Why not call that the people grumble? I don't know. Probably because to have a title there, a title there, a title there. if they had another title there, and they had a title there, and they had a title there. But I really do think, I mean, that really is a break. Anyway, see, that's what I'm saying. It's one verse, but it's like a lot of information. Miriam was important, Miriam, like, I'm not getting this from the text again. Miriam was Moses' sister, Google, watch this. Who was Miriam look at that, in the Bible? Okay, Wikipedia, the font of all knowledge. We know they say nothing wrong. Okay, that's sarcasm. Miriam was the daughter of Amram and Jochebed. Amram, and I've heard it, Jochebed. She was a sister of Aaron and Moses. Okay, that's interesting, because over here, when you go Numbers chapter 20, Numbers, it tells you what each chapter is about. Remember, we figured out that's chapter 1, tells us chapter 2. Okay. And like I said, since the chapters don't always fit perfectly, since sometimes 2 chapters are about the same thing, they still title them. This is just for ease of use. Okay, the original Bible came with no chapters and verses. The original Bible was written in Hebrew and Greek and a little bit of Aramaic in the Old Testament. The original Bible, the Greek was just nothing but capital letters, no spaces. Can you believe that? All caps, no spaces. What? And I don't even know if they had lowercase spaces. The Old Testament, all caps, no space, no space. And the Old Testament, you read from right to left. It's like, oh my goodness. So, us English people, we're like, I can't understand it. So like, okay, we'll add periods, we'll add capitalizations, we'll give you some help with it. Okay, now stop, baby. Thank you. Okay. Murmuring of Miriam and Aaron. Isn't that weird? In the murmuring of Miriam and Aaron, like, if Moses, Miriam, and Aaron, sister of Aaron, or sister of Aaron and Moses, Aaron and Moses and Miriam were brothers and sisters. Why are they murmuring? It's kind of weird, isn't it? Now you're like, BJ, you're asking a separate question. I'm just showing you what happens when somebody with ADHD goes to study the Bible. This is really what happens, unless I'm specifically focused on one thing. Often somebody on Facebook will say this, that, and the other. And I'll go, I'm not sure if this, that, and the other is true. That's how I say it to myself. I'm not sure if that's true. So I go and I look up that specific thing, and I'm ruthless. An ADHD person, they have like, they have three, when they're off, they're just usually normal people. But when they're on, it's either A, what's this? Wait, what's that? Wait, what's this? You go, what's that? Or B, narrowly focused on the one thing. Kind of no in between. So then if you're like, what's this? What's that? What's the other? What's this? And if you're narrowly focused on the one thing, you're looking at the one thing, you're going for the one thing, then suddenly you see another one thing that's kind of important. Since you're, this, that, the other, you look over here, you look over there. Since that's what happens, you're looking for the one thing, you see another important thing. You didn't go to that one thing. So you're looking at that one thing, you're going to that one thing, and then you see something. So you go to that one thing, you want the one thing. So then you're looking at that one. Wait, there was something here, then over there, then over there. Oh no, what was the original thing? Come on now, BJ, focus on the original thing. Okay, so let's do that now. Let's do that one thing. Stop making faces. Define. Don't pick your nose. Okay. Sorry. Joshua would exceed wait. Here. Let's just, you click off that. Click in a blank space is generally safe. I go to emulator sites. I click in a blank space. Suddenly, you got viruses. You got to find clean sites. You go to the wrong site. You click on the wrong thing. Oh my goodness. Bible sites, they're not trying to do all that to you generally. They're trying to be nice to you because they're good Christians and they love you. Here we go. Okay, back to square one. Verse 4. Why then have you brought the Lord's assembly into this wilderness? Probably the wilderness of Zin. People stayed at Kadesh Miriam. Kadesh. Now Miriam died there and was buried there. Okay. Put a space to let us know. Different subject. There was no water for the congregation. In the wilderness, there was no water. There was no water. People need water to drink. If only we had perished. Okay, why have you brought the Lord's assembly in this wilderness for us, the livestock, to die here? Probably because there's no water. Ancient peoples, they didn't exactly have plumbing. They didn't have good water half the time. Even if there was a water source, probably dirty, nasty. You know, you got to boil it to cook all the infirmities out of it. Infirmities. Look, I'm not a scientist, okay? Them scientific type people, they know what they're talking about. Okay. Infirmities in water, I don't know, but you gotta make it clean somehow. You can't wash it with soap. You gotta boil it. And sometimes they couldn't make fire. Actually, they were very good at making fire. So it's pretty easy. But if there is no water for the congregation, the whole congregation, the sons of Israel, the whole congregation, look at that. This is making sense. And they assembled, the congregation assembled against Moses and Aaron. Now Miriam's dead. Moses is a dude in charge. We all know that. And Aaron. Aaron was also in charge. He was the main priest. So here goes me relying on knowledge again. He was the main priest. That Aaronite priest, the Aaronic priesthood. There's the Levitical, the Aaronic. It's not, it's ironic that it's ironic. Man, the Aaronic priesthood. Moses, he's just a dude in charge of everything. He's like the prophet. He's like the elder. It's kind of like at our churches. Now, then it's kind of like at our churches, we have a head pastor. Then we have a bunch of people under him that are like help run the church. They're like the priesthood kind of. Not really, but you know, there's a coach and then there's a coach's staff. Okay, you know, yeah. I don't want to compare the New Testament church to the Old Testament congregation or assembly or Assembly of Israel, because it's not exactly the same. If I compare, you might think, oh, it's the same. It's not exactly the same. So instead, I compare it to a team, a sports team. Okay, they assembled against Moses and Aaron because they're the leaders. Then the people argued, okay, so there's no water. Okay, they get to the wilderness. Miriam dies. There's no water. They assemble against them. Then they argued with Moses. They're arguing with the leaders, saying, if only we had perished when our brothers perished before the Lord. A bit dramatic, aren't we? Come on, they perished before the Lord. That's God you're talking about. It's like, what is this God standing there and the people die? God's just like, I'm gonna watch you die. What the heck? Like this sounds very accusatory. If only we had perished before the Lord. Mom, please, you gotta let me go see the movie. God, else I'll die because all my friends are going to see it. Now, granted, this is about staying alive. This isn't about seeing a movie, but you know, it sounds okay. God complains in other places. Stop whining. Doesn't like it when they whine. So I'm assuming, look, maybe they have a good point, actually. Let's see. They argued. Maybe they could have, instead of arguing, why didn't they come to Aaron and be like, hey, Moses, hey, Aaron, there's no water. Could you know, we need to figure this out. Could we ask God for some water? Could we go somewhere else and get some water? Why'd you make us stop here? They stayed at Kadesh. Why'd you make us stay here where there's no water, Aaron? I'm just asking. Like we need to figure this out. Why do the people talk to Aaron as if, and Moses as if, hey, look, there's no water. You're obviously not doing anything about it. You know, if only we had perished when our brothers perished before the Lord. Maybe there were some good people. But the Bible has recorded this for us. So it obviously wants us to know this. Why then, there's our verse. Why then have you brought the Lord's assembly into this wilderness? I'm guessing the Lord's assembly is the congregation, the sons of Israel. Okay. They assembled there. So many names for one little thing, you know. Okay. Why have you brought the Lord's assembly in this wilderness? For us and our livestock to die here because of no water. So we're going to die. So us and our livestock. So now look, what were our questions at first? Why are they asking this? Now we know. Why then have you, Moses, brought the Lord's assembly, the congregation, the sons of Israel? Moses lead them. Remember, he led them out of the Exodus, led them out of Egypt. They walk around, Pharaoh chases them. They go through the Red Sea, yada, yada, yada. The people stayed at Kadesh. No, they're at Kadesh. And Miriam dies. Maybe she died from a constant whining. Why have you? Why? If only we had perished with them. Like, whatever. Before the Lord, why you brought us up for us and our livestock today? Why did you make us come up from Egypt? Are you serious? God saves them from slavery. He does miraculous plagues. He lets them get chased and then suddenly saves them. He's given them water. Okay, Exodus is a long time in the Bible. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens in Exodus where God gives them water. God defeats armies for them. God gives them food. God's done all this before. Then they're like, why'd you make us come up from Egypt to bring us into this wretched place? Do they think God's suddenly not going to provide? What is this? Maybe it's because they just saw Miriam die. I don't know. It doesn't tell us that's why. It tells us they argue with Moses. There's no water. So they assembled against Moses. Okay, so we're assuming it's because there's no water, because they think they're going to die. Why'd you make us come to bring us in the wretched place? It's not a place of grain or figs or vine or pomegranate. Because Moses had told them, I'm going to bring you to a land flowing with milk and honey. Flowing with milk and honey is an idiom. The big rock candy mountain where the land is fair and bright. Yeah, that's an old song for you young folks. Okay, from the 80s or maybe before. I don't know. No, wait. They played No Brother We're Out There. No Brother We're Out There was way back in the 30s. But I don't know. Anyway. Man, we're in a tight spot. Okay. Why did you make us come up from Egypt? God saved you. He made you. Moses was like, hey, you want to come? At first, they didn't want to, and then they did. They gladly followed Moses eventually. They didn't. Moses made them. It being so dramatic, but this is the way a lot of ancient people were. They were dramatic and stuff about everything, it seems. So maybe we can't blame them. I don't know. Why did you make us come up from Egypt to bring us into this wretched place? It is not a place of grain and figs and vines and pomegranates. Remember, Moses said, we'll leave Egypt and we'll go to a place flowing with milk and honey. Why'd you make us come up from Egypt? There's no pomegranates, nor is there water to drink. Then Moses and Aaron came in from the presence of the assembly. They came in from the presence of the assembly. Okay, so the presence of the assembly, the Lord's assembly. If I hit control, the assembly. Okay. Okay. The Moses and Aaron came in from the presence, so they left the presence of the assembly to the entrance of the tent of meeting. And they tent of meeting. Or better yet, watch this. Hit plus. Bible Gateway. Since that's the one we're on right now. Tent of meeting. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Receive your daily verse by email. I'm good. Do you not know your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit? Here, we'll just, okay, so tent of meeting. Enter. Exit. In the tent of meeting, outside the veil, which is before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall keep it in order from evening to morning before the Lord. It shall be a permanent. They shall be on Aaron and his sons when they enter the tent of meeting, or when they approach the altar, the holy place, so they don't incur guilt. They shall bring Aaron and his sons to the door of the tent of meeting and wash them with water. Aaron and his sons, you shall bring the bull in front of the tent of, so the tent of meeting is a pretty important place. Slaughter the bull before the Lord in the door of the tent of meeting. So sacrifices, slaughtering the bull, the priest, because Aaron and the priesthood, they're coming before the tent of meeting. So the tent of meeting seems to be an important place. It's for priests, it's for sacrifices. Gotta wait for a second. Come on. Okay. So Moses and Aaron, they leave the presence of the assembly. They go to the entrance. They don't go into the tent of meeting. They go to the entrance of this important place, the tent of meeting, fell on their faces, and the glory of the Lord appeared to them. Then the Lord spoke to him, saying, what did God say? Don't read it yet. Oh, I can't block it out. Oh, man. Take the staff and brother, all that stuff. Lift your eyes, they shall yield water, so you shall bring long life. So Moses took his staff as commanded him. Moses, someone listen, and Moses raised his staff. Okay. So Moses, you and your brother Amos, so they speak to the rock before their eyes. Okay. Moses and Aaron summoned the people. Moses said, "Listen, you rebels, shall we bring water out of the rock?" Moses raised his hand and he struck the rock twice with his staff. Water came out. The Lord said to Moses, "Take your staff, you and your brother Aaron, assemble the congregation to speak to the rock before their eyes, that it shall yield water. You shall bring water from out of the... Listen, you rebels, we shall bring water." Then Moses raised his hand and struck the rock. You and your brother shall assemble the congregation and speak to the rock. Moses said to them and then hit the rock. Oh no. Did something wrong there. It seems Moses was angry, smacked the rock. God gave him water. Good, good. Okay. Wait. Why do we keep reading? Hmm. Why did I start reading this? I know. Okay. We're trying to figure out verses. I think we figured. I mean, a lot of it we figured out. We're like, okay, how long does this take us? I've been here for like 20 minutes. We got through these verses. We kind of. Do you remember who Miriam was? Do you remember the tent of meeting? Sort of. Okay. Now you do this. All this stuff I just did 20 minutes. You could probably do it for yourself 5 minutes tops. After you learn how to use Bible Gateway. That's where, Bible Gateway is one of many. Like I said, there's Blue Letter Bible, there's Bible Hub, Bible.cc is the same as BibleHub.com. BibleHub.com, BlueLetterBible.org, and BibleGateway.com. These are all, these are all good Bible websites. Bible Gateway, we've learned we're trying to, ignore all this for now. Intro study. No, ignore that for now. Numbers chapter 20. You type in the place you want. You type in your standard Bible verse here. NASB, NET is a good one. NIV is a good one, although it's not as literal, quote unquote. It's not as a word for word. It can still work though. The word for word is good because I was like, hey, look, where was it? Wilderness. Hey, the sons of Israel, the whole congregation. Where was that? Moses and Aaron. Hey, Moses and Aaron was up here too. Moses and Aaron. So word for word is better for that reason. When you have a thought for thought, it kind of gives you the gist of what it's saying. It's like the Bible translators are like, they might not understand this if we use the exact words. So we'll write it out, we'll paraphrase it kind of and give them the meaning of it. You might not be able to then take the words, where was I'm looking for assembly. Lord's assembly. Where was that? I thought assembly was okay. You might not be able to take that and do it that well. Or that wilderness of Zen. Well, in this wilderness. Okay. So you got the Bible translation. You type in the Bible verse. You got the chapters down here. What if you want to go to the next? Let's say we read all this. Death of Aaron. Dang, everybody's dying around here. They're getting pretty old. And and they wept for Aaron for 30 days. Oh, footnotes, I guess. You got the big number, 20, chapter 20. You got the little numbers. There's no verse 1. There usually isn't. Verse 2, verse 3, verse 4, verse 5. What's that? There. Oh, why then have you brought the Lord's assembly into this wilderness for us and our livestock to die there? That could be confusing, so they changed it to here. Like BJ, I thought you said word for word. They keep it 90% word for word. Of course, Greek has a different word order, so they take the words and they put them in the English word order. It's all confusing. But like down here, A, Numbers 20, lit means literally. That means literature or this is lit, yo. Literally. The word there. Okay, verse 25. Okay, look, here's another one. chapter chapter 20, verse 5 literally means seed. Okay. Verse 4, why do you brought us in the Lord's assembly in this wilderness for us in our lives like to die? Okay, 5. We're looking for a small letter B. Why did you make us come up from Egypt to bring us into this wretched place? Is not this a place of grain or figs or vines or pomegranates? So really that's seed. I don't know why they couldn't have left that seed. I guess because the average American, it would be like seed. Okay, so there's seed. Oh, grain. The average American, the average Western person is going to think, oh, grain. They eat grain. Seed or figs or vines or pomegranates and vines. You know, they could have like I've never eaten. Have I ever eaten anything from a vine? Strawberry? Do they come from vines? What, grapes? I don't eat much stuff from vines. I'm not a farmer guy. I go get chicken nuggets out of my freezer, stick them in the microwave for a few minutes. Boom, you dip them in ranch, they're good. But none of that comes from a vine. Maybe it does. I have eaten pomegranates. I think they're a ton. You know, pretty good. Nor is there water to drink. Okay. Verse 6, you know, then we get all the way down here, verse 29. Oh, I want to see the next. Wait, Lockman Foundation, NASB. Wait, all that. Ooh, is that gonna? How do I get to the next chapter? They're like, BJ, it's right there. Click. 21. Arad conquer Aaron. Arad, when the Canaanite, the king of Arad. Okay, the Canaanite. They're going to the land called Canaan. The king of Arad. That's why I said Arad. Okay. So now we know. Okay. Hopefully, this has been a good tutorial, but I am just nuts. I'm not your average person that's like, here's what we're gonna do, and then here's what we're gonna do next, and then I'm not gonna tell you everything. I might. I told you some things, you know, very unconventional. I don't know. Okay. I hope this helps, guys. I hope this helps somebody. We'll see you next time. Um, we'll do another, maybe we'll go to Blue Letter Bible. Maybe we'll go to BibleHub.com. Okay, we'll do another one. All right, this is good for now. See you later. Arrivederci. Ciao. I can't stop the video. Stop the video. It's still recording?